Innovate. To make changes in something established. Welcome to the 2018 Kingdom Visionary Strategic Planning Summit. It's time to innovate. Learn breakthrough strategies to take your vision to new realms of increase, influence, and impact. Hone your power and authority to navigate a competitive marketplace while building the kingdom of God. Reach nations and make a global impact to glorify God. '18 Kingdom Visionary Strategic Planning Summit, September 28th through the 30th. Register today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Marketplace Mondays. I am your host, Geralda Larkins, your visionary strategist, and I'm so excited to have another one of my society sisters here with me. This woman of God, I call her an apostolic jewel. She does drop like mad meat from the Word of God. Every week, you can catch her on Facebook Live, Wednesdays with Win at 8:30. in the morning, okay? That's your dose of wind, and you don't want to miss it. But let me just say how grateful I am to have Wynsome McLean here in the incubator with me on tonight. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist. She's a pastor, a wife, an author, okay? 60-day reflection journal. If you don't have yours, go to Amazon.com. Wynsome McLean in the house. She is anointed to help people tackle real sensitive issues like depression and rejection and sexuality, marital discord, sexual abuse, and she does it with boldness, okay? Wynsome is the CEO of Soul Care Institute, which provides creative and compassionate counseling services to individuals, couples, and families using interactive therapeutic interventions. And we are so honored to have her because she is an innovator in this mental health space, and you're going to hear why in just a second. But welcome, Pastor Wynsome McLean.
Thank you very much for having me. It is awesome to be with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, now that I've said pretty much a whole bunch of
stuff.
My gosh. Tell the world a little bit about you.
Oh my. Well, you've kind of summed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am Wynsome McLean. I am Pauline's daughter.
Hi, Miss Pauline. She says that every time.
Oh gosh, yeah. I was told that I need to say that.
Amen.
Absolutely, absolutely. I belong to somebody.
This is gonna be a long night, y'all, because she has a personality and a humor that will catch me off guard. So I'm gonna just say, forgive me if I just do the Kool-Aid smile all night.
Okay, all right.
Be serious, man.
I'm serious. So I am a kingdom counselor.
Yes.
And I think you kind of gave me that title at some point. Wow. And I think it really does, though. It speaks to who I am. Mm-hmm. I am connected to the kingdom, and I am not afraid to meet people where they're at. Yes. It takes a special type of person to meet people where they're at, because sometimes we carry some heavy stuff. And so we need people in the kingdom who are willing to join us, where we're at, and really help us with those issues of depression and anxiety and stress and all of the things that we face on a daily basis.
Well, I have been privy to see the launch and the manifestation of Soul Care Institute. It feels like it's been around for a long time because the concepts and the way that you bring transformation in these workshops and intensives, it feels such like a seasoned thing. Let's go back, okay? Okay, let's go back and share with me your entrepreneurial journey, your journey to becoming this powerhouse counselor. I've been privy to be in one of your sessions, and if you go on her Facebook Live page, you'll see some of the creative approaches that you've used to help families bridge the gap, to help families tackle back to school in a really creative, innovative way. So take us back. How did you get to become this dynamic kingdom counselor that we see today?
Wow. Okay. Well, I started this journey actually back in 2004, where I decided to pursue my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I wanted to further my studies to actually graduate to a place where I could be credentialed to do what I love to do. And my approach to counseling, and I think this is what is going to help to put it in perspective. I consider myself to be a systems therapist. So if I sit down with Geralda, I'm not looking at Geralda as an individual. I'm looking at Geralda who is connected to a father, who is connected to a mother, who has aunties and uncles and grandparents, and she was maturated within that system. So there's really no way for me to speak to you outside of the context of what system you come out of.
Come on.
Because we learn certain messages from our system.
I'm scared of this interview. Let me tell you something. I feel like you're gonna be drawing me in, and you're gonna psychoanalyze me and call me out. Okay? Listen, the anointing is palpable when you start to communicate. Stop! Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Systems. We were groomed in a system. Amen. Okay.
And so some people do counseling though in isolation. So they have a client that comes in and they sit and they try to deal with the client's individual issues. I personally don't necessarily subscribe to that because I understand that person is connected to a person who gave them some messages. And those messages took root. And then that person made some declarations.
Come on.
And those declarations then guide the decisions that they make. So it's all interwoven. It's like that spaghetti of our lives. It's all mixed up together. And we need people that can tease through and really get to the root of it.
Tease through. Like where you hear that at? Listen, this woman of God knows what she's talking about. I attended the Bridging the Gap workshop. And one of the tools or the approaches that you use, all of it was super interactive. And one of the tools that you use actually got mother-daughter to begin to communicate with each other. There was not a dry eye in the room. How do you come up with these innovative or interactive approaches? Like, what's your process?
I really, again, take it from a systems perspective. And so everything that I do as it relates to the family, I do it from that vein. And so if there is a mother and a daughter, they have cultivated a relationship. Whether it's functional or dysfunctional, there is a relationship there. So what I always try to do is to get to the heart of the relationship. Like what's really going on? Because people are going to put their best foot forward, especially in the company of strangers. Right? And so I have to be then very strategic as to the way in which I ask questions, the activities that are presented, because I'm trying to get to the core.
Come on.
We've had enough with the shallowness. We've had enough with the surface talk that is really not benefiting anybody. And so I'm like, time out for the selfishness and can we get to the core of it so that we can really begin to live purpose? Can we do that?
Yes.
Can we do that?
I want to do that. I want to do that. Oh my God.
So that's what, if you work with me, that's what you can expect. Us really getting to the core so we can begin to really make those changes. That's going to then lead to me fulfilling my divine purpose. Purpose is at the end of it.
At the end of the day, purpose is the core. How you just did a back to school vision board bonanza, okay, with all of these families in West Palm Beach. Tell me a little bit about that and what was the purpose behind that initiative?
Sure. There's a saying that says, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day.
Yeah.
But if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Many times, what I was noticing is that we would give families resources. So we would give them food, or we'll give them, backpacks, and we'll give them supplies and things like that.
Yeah.
But if I don't really know how to work those things, then how is it really benefiting me? Right?
Yes.
So sometimes we give a child a backpack, we fill it up with stuff, and we say, go conquer. But parents don't realize how they need to hold themselves accountable for their child conquering.
Wow.
And so the Vision Party was really about collaboration between parents and their children to ensure that their year is going to be successful.
Yes.
So there were academic goals,
Yeah.
there were behavioral goals, and then there were partnership goals.
Wow.
And the partnership goals spoke to the fact that as a parent, what am I going to do on a daily basis to ensure that my child is striving, that they are getting the support that they need? And so what I did was I supplied the parents with questions that they can ask daily, if they do a daily check-in or a weekly check-in. And some of the questions are things like, if a spaceship came down to your classroom and zoomed up one student, what student would that be and why? Questions like, what was the worst part of your day versus how was your day today? Because then you're going to get, it was good, it was fine.
Yeah.
But if I ask you what was the worst part, then you have to dialogue with me.
Yes.
If I ask you what was challenging, you have to give me an answer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so just helping families to structure those type of conversations to really get to the core of what's going on with their kids.
It's just so different. It's a different approach to these therapeutic concepts, a different approach for families to tackle their system issues, their systemic issues. It's really something that you just haven't heard before in our space, and it's really awesome to just have you the one filling that void.
Right.
You know
and that was an absolute God thing.
Yeah.
I really don't feel like I had anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But again, when you assess your community and you see those voids and you know that you have the capacity to fill it, there's a responsibility.
Man.
And so I felt that I was responsible to have to do this.
That's that burden. That's that Jesus burden, I call it. It's like you got to have a burden, and God gives you a burden, and He sends you out to be the one to be that solutionist. All right. So, what has been the biggest obstacle you faced to becoming the kingdom counselor we see here today?
So, two things.
Yes.
Number one has been me dealing with my self-inflicted fear. And why I call it self-inflicted is because no one really said it to me.
Yeah.
I internalized certain things and caused my own self to sabotage my own self.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then number two, having to deal with minimizing my value and my voice. And so those are the two things that, and if I can be honest and transparent, because I am the therapist, I deal with those things on a daily basis. So I have to check fear every day.
Yes.
When I hear myself saying, but nobody's gonna listen. Like, you sure you got something to say? I have to check fear.
Yes.
So fear and I know some of y'all deep spiritual people,
Come
y'all
on.
put fear under your feet.
Wait, I wasn't ready.
To all the, I'm just saying. Because some people, they got it on lock.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about my experience.
Yeah.
When fear rises up, I have to check it.
Yeah.
We have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I have to remind fear
Real
that
talk.
I'm in charge.
Real talk. When we first met, well, you was very so chill, very solemn. You know what I'm saying? Just getting a consultation on what the Strategic Society offers and the services of our ministry, right? Very chill, professional tone. Then I heard you preach. I'm like, who this woman? I was telling Denise, I'm like, what's happening here? The power, it's like, wait, we got some work to do to put some structure in place here because this has got to come out in the name of Jesus the way it's intended to come out. And it's so interesting that, to see how effective you are coming out, you're speaking, to know that you had been battling that. Somebody on the outside looking in would be like, oh no, she got this all together. Right, She's straight.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But again, I am willing to be vulnerable.
Beautiful.
And get to that place where I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have it all together like Sister Susie down the street.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I know what I have to face on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But I also know that I'm more than a conqueror.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? So when fear does come, I know exactly what weapon to use.
Come on.
To deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm not an amateur in this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's knowing it. Fear has known your sister. It's been a plot. Yeah.
We know the relationship that we have.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when he, she, whatever manifests, I know exactly how to come back at you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like fear don't creep up and be like, yo, you sure? You sure? You sure you could do that? Like, who told you could do that? And so that same
we told her she could do it. Horrible. We are each other's biggest cheerleaders up in here.
That's right.
She can do this thing.
That's right. And so that was, okay, so let's flip the script. But that was why I needed people like you and Denise in my life. Because when you have so much in you and you don't have an outlet, no, Jesus. But it's so much.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I literally felt like I was going to explode if I did not get some of these things out of me. And so when I partnered with the both of you, everything shifted. I'm really trying to articulate this and put this into words. One day I will. Are y'all hearing me? One day I will. I'm going to conceptualize it. I'm going to package it and I'm putting it into words. But you all do not understand the magnitude of impact that you've had in my life.
Wow.
And I am just grateful.
And it's I don't got nothing. Wynsome has the ability to shut me up and be like, stop it. Real talk. But what I'm going to say is it's because whenever it's a God vision, he will raise up the fivefold to come alongside you to help move the vision forward. The same way you're able to do it for your clients, you're that fivefold gifting coming into their space and helping to shift them and move in a better direction. God would do it. I had to have Denise and Regine and my leaders to come and help me as well. You've helped me as well to help to continue to move out into what God has called me to do, because I got like that tunnel vision. Like for me, I got blinders when it's my own purpose. I can see all day the apostolic grace that is toward me. I can see that. It's like, but then seeing it in yourself, it's so interesting.
Yeah. Oh my God. Absolutely. And that has been that pill that you have to swallow that's real big.
Yeah.
Like I've had to like give myself a moment and like literally break that down.
Yeah.
Because when I hear people say certain things, I'm like, who are you talking about?
We talking about you.
but you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
You just have to it can be a bit overwhelming. Yeah, to say the least.
And so when you get into that overwhelming space and you have to really digest that God is calling you higher, how do you deal with that? What's your process between you and your Heavenly Father?
I
share a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I think what's happening is he's teaching me how to pace myself.
Wow.
And that's really, really important for me because it's like either back in the day when I wasn't managing my resources or my time well, everyone had access to me at their disposal. And the Lord began to teach me that in this season, you have to be selective. You have to learn how to say no sometimes, and it's okay. Because if it's going to take away from what it is that I'm doing, then you need to learn how to say no. And so now I'm real careful with my time. I have to value it and allow people to value it as well, because I only have 24 hours.
Being a good
just
steward.
like you.
You
You know what I mean?
steward,
But you can't call me and we be on the phone for an hour at a time, and you really don't need nothing from me.
Oh, you ain't got no invoice for me. No, I'm sorry.
I had to throw that in.
Lord, it's a hashtag.
But what I do though is I say to folks, I need you to tell me what you need from me. So before we even go into this conversation, do you just need me to listen? Or do you need like my input? Like, what do you need? So I know what to give you. Because what I am done with is throwing my pearls before swines. If you ain't ready, we gonna hold it back until you're ready for what I have to give. And that's why we value when folk actually pay, when there's actually an invoice, because those folks are ready to receive because they're making a financial investment.
That is true. That's real talk. I got nothing. What can I say? Is the show over, Denise? How many? Gosh! Listen, this woman got here. Okay, well, let me go back to my notes. Okay. Words of encouragement for those out there that are looking to stick to the vision and push the vision forward, what words of encouragement would you give them based on your own experience on this awesome year that God is taking you to, just new heights, new realms?
Honestly, and I know, again, let me preface this by saying, I know some of y'all got this on lock. You feel me?
Yes.
So, like, you have that individual, independent, I got this. But I realized just this year, the power of true partnership. Kingdom partnership, kingdom connections has been the sole foundation for what has taken place over the course of this year in my life. Had I not been connected, I promise you, this would not. Again, I know you got it. But see, I'm not talking to you. So let me talk to the one who needs community.
Yes.
Who needs an incubator.
Yes, Jesus.
Some place where you can actually maturate, where you can grow, where you can be challenged, where you can eat good food. You can get good substance. That's what I have found. And so I would encourage people who are really serious about taking this thing to the next level. Watch your connection. Be sure that who you're connected to is actually going to lead to that place where God is taking you. I was connected and am connected to a lot of people, but not a lot of them could push me. You know why? Because she's the anointed one. She's the preacher. She's prophesied. So and what? So what? I preach, I prophesy. And so does that mean that I don't need that person to come alongside me? Time out with that. Time out with that.
We need each other. We do. We need each other. We need to encourage one another, and those connections are so important. We can't do it without each other.
And I always give the example that when I was younger, I loved to play basketball because I was a semi-tomboy. Semi, not all the way.
She ain't no more.
But I used to play basketball with my older cousins because they had skills that I didn't have. And when I got done playing with them, the girls couldn't touch me because they were on a lower level. So what I believe has happened in my life is I've leveled up because God has connected me with people who are there.
They're dancing in the background.
And I would be dancing too if I wasn't on the camera. But I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
But I've leveled up and I've connected with people who are doing the thing and things that I want to do. So it's time out. We're walking with the chickens. Can I soar with the eagles, please? Because I've caught a vision.
Yes, Lord.
I feel like having church. I caught a vision of what my life can actually be. Okay? I'm going to shut up now.
People standing, people are worshiping the Lord right now at this revelation. It's real talk. Are we done? I don't know. I got more. Denise said we got more time. Can y'all handle some more from the woman of God? Okay. What's next? You're going to be one of the featured speakers along with another society jewel, Miss Audrey Brooks, another kingdom counselor herself, mental health professional. And you're bringing, I think, a real timely lesson. It's called The Psychological Price of Entrepreneurship. And I'm excited to hear the meat, the revelation that comes flowing from you two. What do we have to expect? Yes, I'm going to put you on that. Yes. Y'all been preparing.
Yes. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Tell the people about.
Okay. Yeah, no, because I am so excited to be able to engage with entrepreneurs on this topic. And I believe that our session is going to be, let me just put y'all out there. So in case y'all registered and y'all was like, we're not going to that one. That's the one you need to go to.
Come on.
Okay? Because so many of us are suffering in silence because we're CEO and we're president and we got it all together. But see, you can't fool the kingdom counselor.
No.
And that's the problem.
Yes.
The problem is you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool me most of the time. Right? Yeah. And so we need to pour into entrepreneurs and let them know that it is okay to not have a good day. Yes. Like it's okay to, come to terms with those things from your past that are sabotaging your present. Like it's okay. And we create a safe space for you to do that. You know what I mean? Like why we gotta be so tough? Why we gotta be so hard and pretend like, oh no, that don't apply to me.
Because you're supposed to be a boss. That's the term. You gotta be a boss.
And bosses need places to land as well.
Yes.
Where's your landing space? Where's your soft space where you can just be, where you don't have to perform? Listen, I'm an introvert by nature. You couldn't tell by what is happening here because I know how to turn that off. Wow. But after all this, like after yesterday and all the people and work in the room, I was tired. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm self-aware enough to know that I need moments of retreat because when people are pulling on your gifts, you get tired. And so we have to be sensitive to the fact that we are gifted, we are anointed, we are called, but who is holding your mental health accountable? Who is holding your foot to the fire to say, did you go and get a massage? Did you go and just sit did you go by the beach and just have a moment? Come on, we don't have to be on all the time. And then listen, one of the major things that entrepreneurs have to deal with is that no, is that rejection, is you pouring into people and them like dismissing you like you ain't never did nothing for them.
And we just dropped the mic and just
you gave it to them for the free 99. Now they tripping and acting like you ain't never do nothing. Like we have to take care of ourselves. And that's what we're going to be talking about at the innovative workshop for the social emotional health of the entrepreneur.
Yeah, that all that. Listen, you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss.
It's
the
going to
summit
be good.
This year, September 28th through the 30th. go on my website, geraldalarkins.com. Go on Eventbrite, KBSP Summit 2010, something like that. Just Google it and you'll register. You don't want to miss this. Okay, you're going to get poured into, get these things dealt with, understand the triggers, understand the signs that it's time to go get your life, right? Amen. All right. Okay, so last question. I always ask my guests, what kingdom essential would you leave with the audience, that biblical principle that you stand on? You dropped so many nuggets on tonight, but what sticks out to you as your go-to kingdom essential?
I am a solution.
Amen.
I am a solution. I fought through a whole lot of little things to get here. Right? Yes. And when I was conceived in my mother's womb, her body fought against me being there because I was a foreign object. And in spite of that, I made it. And I made it because I am a solution to someone's problem. Understand that you're not here by chance. There is a problem with your name on it, and you are that solution. That is my essential. I'm done. I can't.
No? Okay. Well, when, how do... like a little puppy. Like, I just want a hug. I just need a hug right now. All right, real talk. How do people get in contact with you? If you need a counselor, I'm telling you, someone that can help you dig through those systemic things, okay, those rooted things. Do not fall asleep on Soul Care Institute. Tell people how to get in contact with you and how to schedule an appointment with you.
Yes. Go to my website. It is www.soulcareinstitutellc.com. You can shoot me an email through the site. I'll get it immediately. And we'll definitely reach out to you. You can inbox me, Facebook, Wynsome McLean, or on Instagram as well. I'm there, Soul Care Institute LLC. So I'm out there. You just got to, if you want me, you got to find me.
Find her. Okay. Find her. Thank you so much, Wynn. Thank you for having me. Oh no, but I'm shot like a little puppy. Stop. Girl. All right. Boss up. All right. Listen. Okay. Tune in next week for another Marketplace Mondays. We're going to have another awesome innovator in the seat. My girl, Suzette Turnbull, social media strategist to the gods. Okay. You do not want to miss her. So, till next time, y'all. Good night. Love you. Girl.